This is an individual session. The date is Friday, August 16th. It's my sister's birthday. And it is 7:14 in the a.m. I'm just trying to find something here. Alright. Oh, there. I know lastly you say you're not going to get your own way. They're not going to call you. They don't want anything to do with you. Well, I don't believe that report, but if that report is true, if this report is true, that's my worst nightmare. I said I was going to fill the church or empty it. I filled it. I said you better humble yourself because until you do, the entire world is looking at you like ridiculous. You're not making my job any easier. I stood up, took the hit for all you know. All I'm asking the church to do is to humble themselves. You got leadership in there, remove them. You got leadership waiting to come in, put them there. If they're not in seminary or have come from there, they belong there. If they've been in seminary, they're falsely indoctrinated. They don't belong there. Get it? Let's start healing one church before you take and replicate this mess to many churches. This is what I'm trying to say. You get me one working model, I approve, then you replicate it to 10 churches, then I go public and say, you know what, the evangelical community is not this. I identify with these people for this reason. We've got now a working model that does not exist in the church system the way it is now. It's as close to organized religion as ever going to be, but now what we're doing is we're putting Christ back in the church, putting him as the head, and I'm the guy that's advocating and standing for this. When others are calling me dangerous to the establishment, dangerous to organized corrupt religion. You see what was going on? My first charge, the church was saying, well, this guy's dangerous. Why do you think I was arrested? Because they wanted to continue doing all the things they shouldn't be doing, while a man walked in their church attempting to hold them to notice, saying, stop. Bridging the gap between the old pastor and that new pastor that came in, Pastor Price. Making sure that these 3 or 4 men that sat up there on that front stopped doing what they were doing. And it's just... I filled the gap until someone could come in and do the job. That was my job on my first charge. So this is how I deal with it. I'm going to them, my accusers and problems. And I'm not going to give you the story as it goes on to my second, third, or fourth. Because by the time it gets to the fourth, if you're not feeling really guilty and bad about yourself, then I don't know what kind of human being you would be. Listen to me. I don't want to be this guy. Okay? I am not this guy. I don't have an identity crisis. What you got to understand is my identity has been robbed from me, kept from me, while another is profiting, while making me look bad, satanically praying against me and everything around me, and I can clearly see that Satan's winning through you and through Deborah. Okay? The demonic attacks that are coming through you and Deborah are unbridled. They're unwise in some cases. Okay? I don't need money, I want money. I'm owed money and I'm earned money. I deserve it. I suffered. I didn't have to. The law by default will take a look at this, and if someone responds, they'll throw them in jail. Okay? If they don't respond, they'll pay me. I'm not going to file a lawsuit in the court because I know the day I do is the day everyone gets what they deserve. And I'm trying to give them grace and mercy, get them through into the right path without giving them what they deserve by the measure of merits they judge or condemn. I'm a prophet, I'm an evangelist, I'm a pastor, I'm a seer. That's who I am, that's my gifts. No one's going to rob that from me before standing in front of a judge, proving to him why not. And the only explanation is, Sean's been fucked around by the law so much, or he's been denied the office and the power that he holds. And because I sit in a position of delusion, disorder at the hands of another person, not my chemistry, means I'm not responsible for going to the hospital. I can't decide one way or another on what this guy means, yes or no, because if I do, that's what they want. Then they have grounds to put me in hospital if I make the wrong choice. So I'm staying on the fence, and I can't anymore. Where they should be coming to me, I'm now going to them. I don't have to. I could have a long time ago put them all in a court. Maybe it's already there, but if it isn't, I'm trying to keep it out. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going down to that church, I'm going to walk in and say, I got a problem. People in this church caused me a problem. I got one option. Remove leadership permanently and extradite them to be dealt with by law, or come in there, work with them, with the gifts that I have, and help lead this church through the pastor. And then make this working model replicated to their family of 10 churches. And then once we got that going, let's do another audit, which I asked for at the beginning of the month, so I can take this to the world and say, you know what? This church has been cleaned up. It's as good as it's going to be. Okay? All these people you call themselves Christians are not. They never were. They just think they are, and they are. And what we're doing is separating wheat from chaff. I come into that church, if it splits, it's not because I'm coming in. It's because they had a problem in that church, and all that's happening is the bad apples are going to end up being pushed out of there. Right? The bad apples and the influences, they're pushing me out of there. And that's it. It's done. Okay? Once you get one working model, then you replicate it. But don't take a damaged, unhealthy, unhealed church, say that it's correct, and say that they got to make more of it. This is the argument I put before them. This is the level I'm working at. No, and I'm not working at congregation to pastor level. I'm a pastor of pastors to pastors. I should be sitting in the EFC president's chair right now because I did something he didn't do, that he should have done. And I was the only saving grace where Jesus wasn't there, and he should have stood up for the entire evangelical community. This nobody, this set apart, did what everybody else should have done. Clean up, force others to do the same, and then show that you're being real and honest and outright and forthright, and you want them and you love them. So, I leave you with this. It's now 25 to 9. I don't want Deborah to feel the same abandonment that I felt. Okay? I have been abandoned. I feel abandoned. And people should be doing the uncomfortable thing and calling me. I shouldn't be going to them. Or maybe there's a reason I can't that I don't know of. Maybe there's a movement prohibition or a communication restriction because some people decided to take something internal and make it domestic by bringing it outside the walls of the church, which is within me now, which is within this building, my home here, my holy of holies. You don't come in here anyway, shape or form, unless invited, and that includes through technology. That's been made very clear. So that door's been closed, and if it gets opened again, with or without a judge's consent, there's going to be problems. Okay? So hopefully, by the time they get this word of wisdom, they're going to do things different. They're going to disassociate themselves with the law. They're going to reassess their organized religion. They're going to look at the things like membership, which shouldn't exist. They're going to look at things like tithing that shouldn't exist. They're going to look at things like you have to attend church to be saved. If you don't come to church, well, you're going to go to hell. That's got to change. It's a false doctrine. A lot of things have got to change. A lot of stuff that's been embraced by the evangelical community has got to change. And a lot of those people who are doing this, as you notice, if you can follow me, are being very held directly to notice. And where likes of Copeland, Duplantis, and all these other bigwigs, okay, where they've blocked and closed their door, what they should have done was responded and say, you know what, maybe you're right. But they still think that everything they're doing is right, or they know it's wrong and they're willfully doing it because they're being paid off, as in the case of Copeland, with secret societies or corrupt government. I'm not even going to label on it anymore because I don't know what to call them. I don't even know the CIA anymore.
We'll continue.
Okay, what time is it now? It's 9:30. Deborah and I are now out in the patio. Things seem to have kind of worked out a little bit. We'll see. Maybe it's just a demon or spirit just sitting tight. Who knows? But everything I said is going to go on today. She's got her worker coming beer in this morning.